So it's 12:45 a.m. and I'm still working on this cake. I hope it looks like a train. It's starting to look like a train. I haven't worked with fondant in quite a long time, but I wanted to get on here real quick because I'm like, man, this makes me think of so many different things, so many different lessons, right? Like, I have come a long way with even train decorating, cake decorating. I've been decorating cakes on and off since I was like 18. Nothing professional, so amateur. But any other cake decorators out there? I'm sure you understand. You kind of always have a knack for it, but I could definitely hone in on my skills. However, it made me think of some things, you know. I'm like, man, I would love for this train to just be done. You know, I'm like thinking about the fact like, oh, I just want to decorate it, right? I just want to put like the extra ornamental pieces on it to make it extra perfect. But I can't do that. I can't do that. First, I have to bake the cake. So I got to get the cake baking part right first. Then I got to let it cool. And then I got to wait and make the frosting. Because I don't know about you guys, but I hate store-bought frosting. Tastes so gross. But that takes extra time. Then, once I make the frosting, make sure it's good, then I gotta put a crumb coat on. And I'm telling all of you guys this because I thought that I was gonna have like everything together before I started my nonprofit, before I started my business, before I started like homeschooling, all the things, right? We always think we have it all together, but it's not until we actually get started doing the thing and going through the process that it actually comes together. And just like this cake, you know, your business has to come together. Your whole idea, your purpose, your calling, it doesn't come together until you start actually doing the thing. And so when you see like my really amateur train cake coming together, it kind of looks like a train. And it's like, man, it's got so much more to go. I'm like, yeah, but like you can see that it's a train. You can see that it's got all the parts, minus the wheels. That's coming. But it's coming, right? I don't have to have the wheels built, right? I still need to like get all these pieces together. And then I'm still building it as I'm building it. I'm building while I'm building. So, with that being said, just remember, you have to get started to get started. You can't just like have the finished train cake done. You have to bake it and frost it and then freeze it. I forgot that part. And then take it back out and then get the fondant on. And then you can start decorating it. So the perfect, whatever you're going to do, the perfect endeavor has to start with the raw ingredients. And how that gets started is you have to think about those raw ingredients and what it is, those skill sets, those other things. And like for us, my brain is all over the place. All over the place, right? I'm today lashed out many times because I'm like, I have to get this train done. And everybody's like, who cares? Like, it doesn't care. Like, nobody cares, right? Like, it's a 2-year-old birthday. Who cares? I like to make the train. My son likes trains, so I like to make it. I want to make the train because I know he's going to enjoy it. But I don't want it to look like a crappy train. I want it to look like the best possible train that I can make. Now, I know this isn't the best possible train I can make. There's a few oversights. However, it's not going to come together perfectly the first time you do anything, right? It's like we want to be perfect at whatever we set out to do right away. And that's not how God does it for us. That's not how it works. We just have to go out and try to do the thing and say, oh, okay, well, I did that. That didn't work. So let me go see if I can refine it a little bit more and do that and see if that works. And well, maybe I'm not supposed to do it like this. Maybe I'm supposed to do it like something else. Like, this is not how I was planning to have this trained, by the way. I wasn't expecting to have like the whole circle or the cylinder part in the front. And then I figured out like I need to have this. I'm supposed to have like this top here where it's like that. But I'll have to fix it for like whenever I do the next train that I do. And so for now, I'm just putting the pieces on as best I can. And I am getting it done. Because that's what we have to do, right? There's no other way than to get it done. You got to go through it. And then figure out afterwards, like, oh, okay, what could I have done better? Well, probably should have looked at how my corners were going to come together. Or how the size of my cylinder does not match the size of my train car very well. Like, the proportions are off. And that's going to happen, you know? You can't just go out and do the thing without starting somewhere. And you've got skills that you don't even know you have, right? Like, we all have skills that we don't even know we have. Or we have skills that maybe we think, like, oh, nobody's going to care about that. Nobody's going to want to know what I do. That's not going to matter to somebody else. But I'll have you know, I have gotten paid a few times to make cakes for some friends. I made a wedding cake and I made a birthday cake for a friend. And it's been special because my older two children have gotten special cakes for their early birthdays too. So I have to keep the tradition going. I have to keep it going. Now that's on me. I like that. But that doesn't mean that it's going to always be that way. But it is right now, so that's what I'm doing. And that's how I want it. And I'm doing the train like this because I care about it. Because it's something that I enjoy. Because it's not just about like everybody oohing and ahhing over the cake and being like, wow, I could never do that. Or wow, I don't have the patience for that. Or wow, wow, wow. Like, I do a lot of stuff that people don't have patience for. But I don't even have patience half the time to do it. I just get it done. Because I know that I need to get it done, so I get it done. Now, there's things that are in my to-do list that I've yet to do because some of those things are like not the fun stuff. It's the tasks that you keep trying to avoid. Like this train, I should have started 2 days ago, and then I wouldn't be up till almost 1 o'clock in the morning working on this train, trying not to wake everybody up. But here I am, last minute Larry, working on this train, trying to get it done. Now see there, look, it's starting to come together. There's some detail. Now I gotta put the wheels on it. Although I think I'm gonna put them on both sides, but this train just reminds me of the fact that I want to come in at the end when everything just needs the like last buttoning up jobs, right? I want everything to be picture perfect before I launch, or I want to know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing before I go and do it. And it just doesn't work like that. So I say that because don't stop doing what you're supposed to be doing. And yeah, it can be overwhelming. Not gonna lie. I've had both my older children helping me blow up balloons because we have 30 minutes to set up the party room because I booked it at like a little kids play space. So I have 30 minutes to set everything up. So I need everything already done, and we just pin it on the wall and put the tablecloth down and throw the food on there and call it done. Whereas every other birthday that I've done, I've had all this time. Like, I usually either do it at my house, or we've done it at like my husband's fire hall or at the community center where I have like all day, so I can bring stuff in at least a couple hours before and take time setting everything up and getting all the food and all of that. And this time it's like, I almost did this as like a game for myself to challenge myself, to challenge my skills. And really like hone in on what I can cut out, what's like really the most necessary. And this cake is the most necessary thing because he's going to flip out about the cake. He's 2, he'll love it. Everybody else, who cares? They're not my problem. They're not my audience, right? The 2-year-old is my audience. And the 2-year-old is going to think this semi-crappy train, it's not that crappy. It's holding together. It's at least a shape, okay? But he's going to think this train is the best thing on the planet. Because it's a train. And he gets to cut it open and eat it. Like, what? He's never seen anything like this before, right? So you got to remember that too. Not everybody is meant for you. Not everybody is your calling. You're not here to help everybody. God told us we're here, to go and do the work that he's called us to do. But that doesn't mean he asked for us to do it for everybody. So when you do decide, remember, there's going to be pushback. I got a lot of pushback. Even with this train. And oh, by the way, more analogies, right? My cupcakes that I worked so hard on, which by the way, if you haven't tried frosting, like a simple frosting hack, butter and sweetened condensed milk. 1 can of sweetened condensed milk to 2.5 sticks of butter. And you like slowly pour in the condensed milk. Sorry, rabbit trail. Best frosting ever. It does taste like a caramely kind of, because of this, the sweetened condensed milk. But because I use salted butter, it tastes kind of like salted caramel. So make sure you have like unsalted if you don't want that. But it's got a nice light flavor. And yes, it does really well. However, I frosted all the cupcakes that I was going to have. I had them in their containers ready to go to the fridge. And I'm la-di-da opening the door. What happens? But they spill out of my hand and fall upside down, and the frosting comes off and everything makes a mess. And this is what happened to the frosting. Like, so mad. I was so mad. There might have been a few choice words that I was thinking. But that's going to happen. It's going to happen in life. It's going to happen in your calling. It's going to happen in your purpose. It's going to happen in whatever business endeavors, your purpose might call you to, or whatever ministry you're called to. It's not always going to go as planned. And there's going to be hiccups along the way. It's like, okay, how do I pivot? So what did I do? What I had to do. I took the cupcakes out of the little trays and I had to refrost them. As ugly as they are, I refrosted them and I called it done. And for me, being and that was after I already refrosted them twice because I didn't like how they looked the first time. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, the frosting was easy to like scoop out and put back in the container. And so I did that once already. So this is now the 3rd time that I'm doing that. I'm like, 3rd time's a charm, or third time is done. And sometimes you just gotta leave things be and like let it work itself out, or let it be what it's gonna be and not stress over the small thing, like small problem, like my friend says. Small problem. Let's leave small problems as small problems. Now the cake, big problem. Gotta get the cake done. Cake has to look good. Cake's the main ordeal. Everything else is extra. And I spent last night working on this cute little cardboard cutout for them to actually go inside the train and take a picture with it. And it's supposed to be raining tomorrow, so that'll be fun with the rain to try to get all this stuff in the car. Oh goodness. So just know that You are not alone. It was funny because I was on a phone call with a really sweet lady earlier this week, and we were just calling to connect and chat, and what we thought was gonna just be like a quick networking call ended up turning out to being like a strategy session that I was helping her with her idea, because she was kind of unsure. She had been out of the business world for a little while, and she was coming back into things for the last couple years, but wasn't really sure like how to navigate everything or what she should really do. And so I gave her like a whole business plan that she could really run with. And she was like, wow, that gives me a lot of clarity. I'm like, yeah, I think so. So she's like, I'm gonna have to think about this. And she was already thinking, because I had told her, I'm like, I really think you need to write a book. I really think you need to write a book for your business to help like get the word out and to put you as an authority figure in this space. She's in finance. And she's like, it's funny you mentioned that, because I felt like God was telling me to write a book. I'm like, well, here's your confirmation. Go write that book. Go get it done. And so she's like, yeah, I'm going to have to think about that a little more. So you never know. You never know. Sometimes the stuff that you think doesn't matter, somebody else didn't even think about. And they think that it's so wonderful, so helpful. Now, I didn't charge her for this session because it was really just like a strategy call. Not a strategy call, sorry, a networking call. And it was really good to get to know her. And we were talking about homeschool, and we were talking about project-based learning, which, by the way, I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Do we do it very well? No, because we're ADHD. And we strive for it, though. Anyways, just know that God will absolutely help you with whatever endeavor you're going to go after. And there will be people along the way to help you too. Just like she wasn't expecting to hear that from me, or that I was going to be able to help her in any way. She really didn't understand or know what I do. And I'm like, yep. I really enjoy, and I think that's what God has given me. I enjoy helping people figure out what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Figure out their calling. Really take that step, take that leap. Give them the courage when they don't have it yet. Be the courage for them. Give them that faith so they can see that they can do it. So until next time, I'll have to show you my finished train. It's coming along. I'm gonna have to have a smokestack. Gotta get some marshmallows up there. Maybe I'll post a picture of the done train on the thumbnail or something. You can see it. Should I say TTFN? Ta-ta for now? Bye.